Yo, chickadee check, yo. Having a very weird day so far. I don't know if anybody's here, but I can't even get my thoughts out because there's just too many of them. Oh, baby. What a day, right? Well, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm not even on my own website right now because I don't want to interrupt Solid. Um, Today was an epic day. You know why? Because I completely fucked up my trade. And I started this whole day by talking about what not to do. Right. So I'll have this conversation with you guys because I don't know if you guys watched me this morning, but I did a quick rant about, what happened on Friday. And it's important to understand because that it basically happened right out of the open again. So let me just go tell the guys I'm gonna get on YouTube. They're probably wondering where I am, but hang on a second. Yo, hey, what's up? Hey, listen, I don't want to interrupt your flow. By the way, oh, all right. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't want to interrupt him. So it's worth recording this conversation for all posterity and for the aliens when they come down and when the alien invasion comes and they go through all of our annals and records and they'll see my videos on YouTube and TikTok and they'll say we need to talk to that. I like to record everything just so I have it out there. Hey, how are you? My name's Kenny Glick. I'm legitimately the greatest trader on earth, and today I fucked up. I fucked up in so many ways that it's hard to believe that I let this stuff happen to me. And I fucked up so badly that I just took myself out of the day and then everything got better, just like it always does. That's why either you're a trader or you're just a dabbler. You're a trader or you're just doing this for like a hobby. You're a trader or you're just doing this. Uh, I don't know if you want to call it fun, but if you take it serious, right, like you should, right, then you know that one trade doesn't mean anything. It's one trade. You address it, you isolate it, you understand what happened for the good, what happened for the bad, what did you do, how can you learn from it? And today, I took a trade and I did everything there was possible to do wrong, and then it didn't work out. Kind of like the point that I was making. But my point that I was making this morning was you don't want to follow me into every trade. Because what if I go 0 for 2 to start the day and you can't handle that, right? Maybe $110 loss on a trade is going to wreck you, right? Let alone what I did on this Trump trade, losing, turning a $500 win into $1,500 loss. It's just irresponsible trading. But that was because I was distracted. I shouldn't have had the trade on. Didn't listen to the VWAP. I was on the other side of a faux show, bro. So I'll show you the trade in a second. But it's ironic, the ironic nature of the conversation. Not ironic, almost coincidental. So let's go back to Friday, right? Let me show you a couple of trades. You guys with me? Can you type 5? Say, can I see a couple of 5s in the room that know I'm not alone here? Just type 5. Just to know I'm not alone. If there's one person here, I'll hang out. Yeah. I'm talking to myself. I know what I'm going to say. I don't have to say it out loud. What's up? Yeah, the 6 is good. I guess you're paying attention even more so. All right. This might be the most important conversation we ever have, and I'm not exaggerating. This literally is the most important conversation we'll ever have because it brings home everything. It teaches you everything, and it brings home the fact that you don't want to be just following somebody's advice. Inevitably, that's going to backfire, no matter how good that person is. Inevitably, that person that you follow will have a bad couple of trades. And if those are the trades that you decide, hey, you know what, this next trade I'm going to load up on this guy's next idea, and that happens to be his bad idea, you're not going to blame yourself. Bad timing, bad luck on your part, right? So that's why, for as long as I've been in this industry, right, and I've kind of gone away from the idea of doing a pick service where here's what I like, here's what I think is going to happen, or worse, if I do a pick service, right, it's more going to be like I want to do, and I think this is going to work, right? So the idea of my service would be I'm going to highlight a couple of trades that I believe I'm going to take. I'm not going to tell you what side because I don't know. So what I'm going to do is in the morning, I'm going to send you a trade, right? And I'm going to say, if this does this, then I'm going to do something. And I want to be able to make sure that you understand that you have to still work, right? You have to understand that this is still just a trade that you might be in it just for a momentary time, and then the trade might turn into a loser. So you have to understand that, you know, the way I look at it, let's say I'm the end user of a fixed service. Kenny likes shorting Trump, DJT, 1626. Cool. I short the stock, it goes down 25 cents. Oh wow, I'm up at 250 bucks. And then it starts to go back the other way. And then you don't take the money, and the next thing you know, you're down 125. Shit. I guess I should have taken that 250. Oh man, now I'm down $250. Oh my God, now I'm down 500. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, right? You're not going to blame yourself for that trade. So let me walk you through this trade while I'm talking about it. So this morning, if I would have had Glick's picks, I would have told you to short Trump, right? It was breaking VWAP in the pre-market and rolling over. Trade worked, right? Got paid. So next thing you know, I'm like, let's do that again. So got paid a little bit. I don't like holding trades into the open, right? So I got out. It's rejected at VWAP, starts to roll over, right? I'm looking forward to shorting it again. Cool. Look what happened. So now you're probably thinking to yourself, Kenny, how did you screw this up? Right? How did you screw this trade up? Well, let me tell you. So after I got doing, I did a half an hour video this morning. Man, this day just keeps getting worse and worse. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this conversation. I'm so fucking pissed off right now. Better to talk about it than not to talk about it. Where do you want to start? Let's start with the video. Let's start with Friday, right? Let's start with Friday. It's worth having this conversation. It's worth repeating it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times. I'm going to reiterate it. I'm going to go over it. We're going to talk about these 48 hours now for the rest of the year. Because if you can understand these last 48 hours of trading, you could understand everything. Okay? So I've been doing this my whole life, right? I know what trades work. I know I have a trade that works every time it shows up, right? And I do other things. And I've been saying this my whole life. Why? Kenny, you've been in this industry. What is everybody looking for? They're looking for something that they can rely on. I found it. It works. It's easy to understand. It works every time it shows up. Why not only do that? I know. Why? We do other things. We take other shots. We think something's interesting. We buy this, we buy that, we sell that, we sell this. We always get distracted. But if you could stay with the core of a trade that works every time, you shouldn't lose money. And you can still lose money on a trade that works every time. I proved it today. So let's go back to Friday, right? So as you know, I make fun of myself a lot. I make fun of the industry. I'm not a fan of the industry. And I'm certainly not a fan of financial publications. I'm not a fan of what we do. Services, selling this, selling that, selling this. So what do I sell? I sell me, right? That's what I sell. I sell me teaching you how to trade, right? It's not an easy sell because people don't want to learn. People just want Glick's picks, right? But if you're just going to be a picker, the reason I don't do the pick service, right, is because of what happened on Friday. So here I am talking about a trade that works every time. You come to the chat room. All right, Kenny, I'm in. You convinced me with your demonstration that I should join your service and take that trade. You come into the chat room. What should be the first thing you ask? The first thing you should ask is, where's that trade? Show me that trade, Kenny, the one that works every time. I don't want to hear about anything else. But we had a couple of people heard me say, hey, you know what? I'm liking this open right here, 2 cents. 2 cents. Two whole pennies, 2 cents. So we bought the 650 calls on open for 2 cents on Friday. And I described it as a lotto play that I don't really think is going to work. But at 2 cents, I'm going to put $100 on it with 50 contracts at 2 cents. Done. We're in. $100. Doesn't matter if it makes them. If it loses, you're out $100, right? Then we had Tilray, which we crushed it on. The last 5 or 6 days, we bought those options, the 850 calls, the $10 calls, lit it up. Held it till Friday, lit it up. Always reminding everybody, the stock's inevitably going to go back to zero because the weed stocks are all garbage. So when the news comes out, it's probably going to be a sell the news event. And it was. So, but Friday, Tilray, it turned around a little bit. We gave it a shot, little faux show, bro, little VWAP break, and then it rolls over and it goes right back down. Loss, right? I got greedy. I thought we nailed it. Here we go, VWAP break, but then it rolls over. I turned a winning trade into a losing trade. And you know what those were? My only two losses. $120 trade profitability turned into a $150 loss, so basically $270 loss and a 2-cent trade on open. Okay. So now imagine you came to the chat room after watching my videos, hearing about this trade, and those were the two trades that you decided to take. Those were not the 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal earnings trades. Those weren't the trades that work every single time, but you chose to take the open 2-cent and the Tilray, and you just let it become a loss like I did. So you lost $100 on the open, and you lost $100 on Tilray, and you were down $200. You're going to blame yourself? No. You're going to blame me. You're going to think that you got frauded or flim-flammed or scammed or something, right? But you know what you did? You did the wrong thing. First of all, if you do come to the chat room, and I appreciate everybody that shows up, and you don't know what you're doing, don't put trades on. That's irresponsible on your part. But I'll take the blame because maybe I wasn't articulate enough. So now I'm articulating this point. If you come to the chat room, ask what you're doing. What are we doing? Where are the trades that work every time? Have I missed anything? What's going on? Teach me, oh wise one. Don't just put trades on because you think we may or may not be even in these trades. Don't take lotto plays. Don't take high risk trades. Don't take trades you don't understand why we're in. Don't do anything until you understand what we're doing and how you're going to profit from that situation. Because before we put, simultaneously as we put the open trade on and Tilray for the two losses of the day, let's not forget, and by the way, if you guys are long rigatoni, it's making up for all the trades we did long today. RGTX, everybody's still long this one right now. That's why I'm mortified where I sold most of it. I'm just in a bad way right now. But on Friday, if you came in and you said, okay, Mr. Trade that never fails, show me that one. I don't care about your lottos. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about your ranting and your raving. I want the trade that you said works. Okay, guy, here it comes. It's FedEx. And they reported earnings. And the stock is gapped down. And now it's breaking over the VWAP and breaking the 930 range. This is the trade that I love. And I was in it late because the trade, when I say never fails, is buying a VWAP break on a gap down stock that reported earnings. But I came in late because this trade works really, really damn well. And I bought the FedEx as it was breaking the range, and we sold 80% of it when it got to the orange line. Blue line, orange line. Blue line, orange line. Fuck you, Quantum! Blue line, orange line. And at that point, you would have said, oh, you know what? So what? We're losing 2 cents on that open trade. Who cares about that $100 that we blew on the till rate? Because I'm up 10. Well, right here, you were close up to about 6 points on this trade. And then somebody said, so now what do we do? And that's a good kind of question. Somebody in the room said, hey, man, this is my first trade with you. What do I do now? Is it too late to get in? Somebody also said. And I said, no. I was like, it's easy for me to hold it because I'm already in it. But if we can get over the orange, if we could stay over the blue and get over the orange, I would bet that this stock is going to go to 287.50 and then close at 290 because that's what stocks do on option expiration when you have momentum. And the strike prices on FedEx were 285, get you 287.50, get you 290. If you're going to join Kenny Glick and Solid Jello in the Hit the Bid chat room, take the trades, only take the trades around the earnings reversals on the VWAP breaks. Then you could branch off from there. Right? So this FedEx trade was epic. Because not only did it pay us handsomely on the first leg, we got paid on the second and the third leg and held it, and it kept us from trading. There really wasn't much going on Friday, but we stayed with our one trade, and we got paid handsomely. Let me show you these options also. If you joined in late, it was the 285s, right? Let me show you how to do this. What's today's date? What was Friday's date? 22nd today. 21st was yesterday. 20th. What was Friday? The 19th. So if you want to show you this neat trick right here, you could go back and check on the option trade from last week by changing the date. So here's 12/26, 12/26. You change the date and you put in right here 19. And there's our trade. So even though you were a little bit late to it, you bought the 285s, they were 158, and they went to 490, close to $5. And if you're not in quantum stocks right now, just send me your address. I'll come to your house and bash you over the head with a quantum computer. I fucked you straight up too. It's unbelievable how shitty I'm doing today. It's actually bewildering. And I do have one of these days where I'm not in all my I sell all my winners. I held my loser. But you know what? Who cares about me? Let's have this conversation. So on Friday, we're crushing FedEx. We're doubling our money on options. But the guy that did the open trade and the Tilray trade, he's thinking that this is no good. Now, again, this is one guy. Other people took all of the trades, and we all came out ahead. We all came out ahead on Friday. But the reason we're having this conversation is that we're getting a lot of new people into the room. Don't put on a trade. Don't put on any trades until you understand what the play is. Right? So if you roll in and you start putting on trades willy-nilly because we're talking about them, don't do that. Don't don't do that. First ask, are there trades happening right now? Why are you in them? What did you like about these trades? Where is that trade that always works? Right? If that was the question asked by my new friend, he would have been in the FedEx instead of the open. And listen, later that day, and this is why this conversation needs to be had. So he chose that open in the Tilray, and then he shut down. Kenny doesn't know what he's doing. And then later that day, I said, this is a typical bull market Friday in December. Let me explain to you what happens on typical bull market days on Friday. They usually run out of the gate, consolidate, go sideways, and close at highs. Runs out of the gate, chops, consolidates, runs into the close. So as you were taking the open trade, right, and the Tilray trade, and I'm talking to this one person. I'm not mad at you. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I don't want you to be a victim anymore. That's it. Friday was your last day of being a victim. I hope you're still with us. I hope that day didn't rub you the wrong way. But this is going out to anybody that's going to join the room. Don't do what that guy did. Take only the lotto plays and miss out on the extravaganza that this market is providing you on a daily basis. So, and let's go back to the Glick's picks thing, right? So if I go 3 for 4 every day and I'm making a living and I send you those 4 picks every day, you just keep picking the one that doesn't work. I send you 4 more. You pick the one that doesn't work. I send you 4 more. You pick the one that doesn't work. I send you 4 more. So now, Monday through Friday, all you've done is 5 trades and you've lost on every single one. But here we are making this video about how we're having the greatest time. How are you going to feel about that? You're going to be super pissed. You're going to say there's some fraud going on here. You're going to watch your money back. But when you take a step back and you live in the world of reality, it's a great place to visit. Come live with me in reality. I teach you the realities of trading. This ain't a pick service. But if you're going to make it a pick service, you have to take all the picks. You can't pick the picks of the pick because then you're doing your own pick. If you want Glick's picks, you got to do them all because later that afternoon, right? Later that afternoon, what did we do? We took my advice, and because I believe the market was going to be a typical bull market Friday day, it's going to rally into the close. So what did we do? We bought the QQQ 617s when I said if they chop it one more day, or sorry, they're going to try to chop you out, and then we're going to rally into the close because the market wants to faux show bro everybody out before the good move. So right before the open, right before the close, what they do? Fake you out, shake you out. We're buying that dip with 10 minutes left in the day. So you were very gung-ho to buy the open and the Tilray. Why not do that trade? But wait, there's more to this one. But wait, there's more. So this trade, we bought them the 617s. If you guys remember, I think some of you guys were with me. Some of you guys were with me, right? Right by the close. Remember the close? When they dipped them to 12 cents and we're buying them right here. And then they're ripping, sold them at 18, 24, 36. And then if you know that these options stay live into the close, look where we got out of some, 50 cents. And then they rolled back over, sold them at 35, netted around, 250% gain. Now, after that trade, what did we say? We were also long the Qs, right? We were long the Qs. And what else do I teach you? I say December, notoriously slow, choppy, but bullish. We got the selling out of the way on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We pivoted Thursday, Friday, right? Do you guys know if Thursday strong, if Friday strong? Almost 95% of the time, forget percentages. Most of the time, Thursday strong, Friday strong. In December, in a bull market, we tend to gap up on Monday. So what did we do? We held the UVXY short over the weekend. A little dangerous in case something happened, but we didn't go huge. We held the QQQ over the weekend because we're playing the percentages and because my hedge fund manager was pretty passionate about him still buying silver. We were already long silver. We're already loving silver. We still think silver's going to 80, possibly 120. We actually bought some more silver on Friday. So think about the guy that only took the trade on the open and the Tilray. He's out there looking at me doing this video right now going, motherfucker, I'm going to punch you right in the face. Right? He's pissed. But I don't want anybody to be angry at me. This is why we pride ourselves in teaching you what we're doing, opposed to just trying to hand you the trades. The trades come. It's easy to find winning trades. Very easy. So let's fast forward to how I fucked up today. Came in. First thing I did, sold some Qs, sold the rest. Done. UVXY, I covered 100 because why not? Take some money off the table. I'm always short UVXY. I don't need to get out of the rest. This thing's going to zero. AGQ, still loving it, right? Maybe you sold some. Hopefully you did. Breaking VWAP 154, plummets down to 150, actually making a pretty damn good comeback right now. But I had a couple of other trades that I wanted to do today. So the Trump stock, right? Now you're looking at this chart and you're thinking, dude, I crushed it on this thing, right? Somebody just made money shorting each Trump. I just got greedy at the worst time and I did a trade, the trade that works every time. Oh, it worked. You know what broke on that trade? Me. I broke. I went away from what normally works, right? So I shorted it pre-market for a little bit of money. My wife called me, distracted me, got me out of my two winning trades. I had open long. My wife's calling me. I'm selling it into this move right here. I'd come back to the office. It said, ripping without me. Great start to the day. Selling something, have it rip as soon as you let go. And then the Trump stock starts to plummet as soon as I get out. And of course, I'm blaming my wife for all this. That's, why take the blame? So I'm thinking, all right, I want to get short this Trump stock. Give me another chance at it. By the way, SIDU still in play. SIDU. This thing breaks 250. I'm still interested, but if you guys remember SIDU from Friday, 97-cent stock, now trading at 250. That's why this is the greatest year ever. Short squeezes everywhere. But let's talk about how I fucked this trade up, right? It wasn't the trade that failed. I failed. Like most people, we fail. It's not the trade. So I'm short. I'm making money. I left a lot of money on the table. I'm looking forward to getting back in short. And lo and behold, it rallies. I'm like, oh, good. And then it rallies again. Even better. Then it rolls over. Even better. Now it's confirming that I should be shorting it, and I didn't. And I wound up shorting it at 16.25. Thank you. I know. So I started shorting at 16.25 because I assumed we're going to go to the multi-day and we're going to go negative. That's the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. I heard that trade works out a lot. And it did. How'd I lose? Because instead of doing what I normally do, taking some money off the table, I let it fake out, shake out, back above prior, holding the prior. What am I doing? Why am I not covering? Because I'm an idiot. The chart's telling me, get the hell out. You overstayed your welcome already. Don't get faux showed. And then I let it go against me where I started my position. I shorted more at 1606 when it went negative. 1625, 1606 short, goes negative. I'm thinking this thing's going to plummet to 15. And then it turns and breaks over prior day VWAP. Normally, I don't hesitate. Decided to hesitate this time. Normally, I cover half my position right there. All right, this one's getting over. And then I never let stocks break back above the price where I started my short without covering a little bit. And you know what I did right there when it tested VWAP? I was like, all right, well, it tested it. I didn't even give it a chance to close. I added to the position, and then it showed me who's boss and forced me out at 1660 as I got lit the fuck up, taking a winning trade and turning it into a freaking loss by adding to it, adding to a losing trade, fighting the VWAP, and I'm literally on the other side of the faux show, bro, and I'm actually getting broed. But it only got worse from there. Because then the trade sets up by triple topping, rolling over, finger of God, VWAP break, breaks back down. There's my trade. Remember me shorting at 1625? Now I got a redefined trade with less risk, confirming the short. Do I put the trade on? No. You know why? Because I'm a bitch. That's why. Because I'm a stubborn nudnik. I don't want to trade now. I'm all upset about my dumb trade. And I'm saying, guys, here's where you get in. Now you get in. And I told him specifically, now you get in because I'm not getting in. Bring it all home. This is not about me. I don't want you following. Let me lead you. Put your own trades on. Because right in that moment, I decided, yeah, I'm going to be stubborn about it just to prove a point. Watch. I'm not going to put it on, and it's going to tank just like I thought it would. And now the guy in the back's going, thanks, Kenny. Now I get it. It's not about you. It's about the trade. And there's the 1 minute finger of God, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. And that $2,000 that I was supposed to make over here, but turned a $200 profit into a $1,000 loss because I'm a schmuck. There's the money. There's the trade. 20 minutes later, Linda's crushing it. Guzman's involved. I never want to put trades on. You get it now where I'm at in my life? I don't want to do this. I'll give you my money to trade. But I get a phone call. My wife's calling me wondering where the Cabela's gift card is. Goo! I got to go run around. Wait, how come the email? Then I got this guy butt dialing me. Guy never calls me before 12 o'clock. I think somebody's dead. I'm running to get the phone call. I missed a new entry. I'm all over the place. I'm out of it, right? I'm not in the ebb and flow. I'm getting freaking rip current. I'm getting smashed by the waves. But my assistant traders, right? My assistant traders are killing it on this trade. That's where I want you all to be my assistant traders. Learn from this trade, learn from me, know the mistakes that I made, and the emotion. After all these years, I let emotion mistaken me over. Out of its sorrow, lost in my soul. You like how I hit those high notes? Because I got no balls. But my assistant, my robotic assistant that I've cultivated and trained not to feel anything, my assistant's like, fuck that. I don't give a shit that Kenny just got blown out of this trade. I'm shorting the shit out of this thing. There you go. I want you all to be the assistant trader. I know these trades work. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, but every once in a while, something goes wrong. I get tweaked out. And then I just can't get back in. So sometimes I just want to check out. Is that okay? I'm just a person. I want to check out. I'm done. Nah. I want to check out. That doesn't mean these trades aren't going to not work as Trump stock is now hitting lows. That's where I want all of you to be. Everything I do wrong is equally as important to this one fantastic setup or two fantastic setups that work all the time. But I just proved today, how do you fuck up a trade that works every time? There you go. There you go. I just fucked it up. Just like I did a month ago with the rigatoni and the ASTS. And speaking of rigatoni, so that was my other winning trade today, right? So, and again, this is improper trading. Also, this is why I'm very disappointed in myself. So I finally get in, faux show, bro, ripping, faux show, bro, ripping, faux show, bro. All right, I'm in. You convinced me enough. I finally buy this thing, and I take the. Sorry, I bought it over here. The faux show, bro, right here. Yeah, I'm in. Yay! You know why I sold it? Because of my P&L. You're supposed to be looking at your P&L and doing trades because of the money. Every trade is independent from the last one. What does this trade, rigatoni trade, have to do with my shitty Trump and Tilray trade? What? Nothing. So why did I allow it? Because, ooh, well, I could take this money now to compensate for the Tilray and the Trump trade, so let me sell it all. And that was my decision, right? So once again, what did I do wrong? That's called P&L trading. You don't trade your P&L. You trade what the stock is doing. This thing's ripping. I called the bottom of this 3 days ago. I'm thinking 27.50, but it's pulling back. I better sell it all. And I leave 1,700 on the table on this trade right here. Ooh, at least I made my money back on the Trump stock. Yeah. No. Every trade is independent from the last one. So in just this rough hour and a half, 2 hours, I've done everything you could possibly do wrong. And I say to myself, what the fuck am I doing? So when you hear me yelling and somebody says, what are you yelling about? Why are you always yelling? I'm yelling at myself because I have to. Because 35 years later, I'm still doing dumb things. Not revisiting that Trump, getting out of my winner because I'm compensating for my two losers just to make the money back, adding to a losing position on that Trump stock, fighting it. I'm on the other side of a faux show, bro. I mean, what am I, nuts? And it's a day like today, I could get over it because I'm insane already. I'll question my judgment. I learn from what I've done. I make mistakes. I still do some dumb shit, obviously. But if you don't talk it out, if you don't address it, learn from it, and then move on, you're gonna wallow in regret forever. And that shit weighs on you and it ages you and it frustrates you, and you're not gonna be able to trade well. Every trade's independent from the next. Learn from your mistake, try to be better next time. And that's it. So you guys doing some sports gambling? I'm back. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't stay away forever. So my kids, everybody's hating on me right now in the family because they hate when I'm right. You want to know what I was right about? So Oklahoma goes up 17 nothing, right? And then the guy fumbles the kick. I get up on the couch. I'm like, the game's over right there because sports is fixed. Right there, Oklahoma will not score again. The game is over. Oh, what are you talking about, Dad? They're winning by 17. It's over. It's over. That's how the matrix works. It's one pivot, just like a bad trade. Go take Alabama. I got plus 220 on all Alabama. Plus, I got plus 6.5 for only I think it was I still got plus 6.5 at plus 120 and the money line at 220. My You hear my wife, she's next thing you know, I go back in there and then he throws that and then they score and then the pick six. I'm like, and they're all looking at me like, why you have to do that? Why'd you have to do that? I'm like, I because I live in reality. I live in reality. You think Alabama's losing 2 times to Oklahoma in one season? You didn't think Alabama was going to show up? You thought it was going to be a blowout? Have you watched college football for the last 150 years? So that started me back. And then you guys know about JMU, right? JMU getting blown out. You're thinking, oh, okay. Next thing you know, you're getting plus 30 at plus 110. So you're getting 30 points, plus you're getting a $10 VIG in your favor. Why not? Why not take JMU plus 30? Because that's what happens. They ease up, JMU gets a couple of touchdowns, and you win. Bang, JMU plus 30, winning. And then from the parlay that's been hitting for the last 5 or 6 years, well, the parlay that's always been hitting is betting against the Jets, betting against the Giants. So what do? I bet against the Jets, I bet against the Giants, and I round it all off by betting against the biggest loser franchise in all of sports right now, the Baltimore Ravens. The worst kind of losing franchise there is because they seem to be good. There's reasons for to believe. They give you reasons to believe. They act good. They are good. They are good. But then you realize they suck. They suck worse than the Jets. They suck worse than the Giants. Lamar Jackson is a loser. His career is over. Deal with it. It was fun. I enjoyed watching him play. One of the greatest things you could ever see in football, but he's a loser. Harbaugh, loser. He's a loser now. Losing coach, losing franchise, losing quarterback, losing team. New England, winning franchise, winning team. They're magical. Hate them. But the essence of sports gambling, same thing as trading. You got trends that work, stick with the trends. Jets and Giants, Jets suck, perpetually suck. Why not make money? But you got to parlay them because you're taking money lines. Jets, Giants, New England. Well, against them. So I walked in. You guys know I found my watch. One of our properties just spun off a nice payday for us. We had a fire. I can't get into it, but insurance paid for everything. We're very happy. We get nervous with insurance companies. They always find ways of not paying you. They paid their bill. Everything's been squashed, worked out pretty well. People that got, we had to fix their apartments. They're getting brand new apartments. We just lost the cat. Sorry, guy. The cat died in the fire. One casualty of this whole thing. But I don't really talk about this. I own most of where my money's in is real estate. We had a fire, and we were very nervous about the outcome. It all worked out pretty nicely, except for that cat. So I rolled in feeling pretty damn good about this morning, and then I just do some dumbass trades, taking me out of my good mood. But luckily, this is how you do it, my friends. Talk it out. Nobody needs to go to therapy. Right? You guys go to therapy. I went to therapy twice. What are you doing? You're just spewing it out, and she's nodding and taking notes. I went to therapy. I never been to therapy in my life. Well, I went when I was a kid because I was out of my mind with ADHD. Nobody knew how to diagnose that shit. But I went to anger therapy. Me? Angry? About what? So I'm explaining to her why I'm always angry and this, that, and the other thing. So it's like 45 minutes in. She hasn't said a word. I'm just rambling on about why I'm always pissed off. This, that, and the other thing. She's taking notes. So I stop. I'm like, you got anything? You know what she says to me? She's like, you seem like you got a lot of stuff figured out. This is what she says to me. I was like, so do I get paid for this session or do I still have to pay you? She says, no, you seem like you actually have a lot figured out. You do self-analysis. You're self-analyzing yourself. You're trying to figure out why you're this way. You're a step ahead of most people that I talk to. I'm like, well, thanks. And her name was Leibowitz. So I said to her, I was like, did you have a cousin Fawn Leibowitz who died in a tragic kiln accident? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I think this might be our last session. Because she didn't know who Fawn Leibowitz was. How do you not know who Fawn Leibowitz was? She died in a tragic kiln accident. No? I gave my love a cherry that had no bone. I gave my love a something. Sorry. No? You don't know who Fawn Leibowitz was? Come on, you guys never seen Animal House? What's wrong with you people? But that's what this half hat I would say 80% of this game is talking out your emotions, overcoming your emotions, dealing with your emotions, addressing your emotions, and don't let it get the best of you. Like me not getting back into that Trump stock, selling my rigatoni trade to compensate for my other losses. I just did a lot of dumb stuff. Fawn Leibowitz, come on. You don't remember and also that's the scene from when the guy's walking down the street, Belushi's coming down the stairs. There you go. I gave my love a cherry that had no. What does that even mean? By the way, the guy that wrote that song was that dude. Did you know that? Fun fact. Fun fact about Animal House: there were no black people in that neighborhood where they were filming that. They had to import the black people. Fun fact. May we dance with your dates? It's great to be back here at the Destiny Lake Club. This one is Shamalama Ding Dong. You put the boom round my oh in my smile time. That is why, that is why, that is why, that is why you are my shoo. Yeah. Come on now. By the way, that was not who you think it was. That guy went on to a career after Animal House. His real name is not Otis Day. That's Otis. He loves us. So you know what's fun about the Hit the Bid room while I'm doing this video with you? Solid is in the other rooms kicking ass for everybody else, right? It never ends. As we're having a therapy session here, me getting it all out. By the way, this Trump stock short, man. Wow. Wow. Really, just right in my fotch. It hurts. It hurts. Ooh, it hurts. So now you really just got an inside look at what this is all about. I can make you money. You just got to sit around and wait for those trades to show up. We address them. But if you get into one trade with me at the wrong time, we both get beat up on some dumb stock. That's not the end of it. There'll be other trades, right, Jimmy? And just to bring this home, and I'm gonna go. I gotta get to the bank. I still go to the bank every once in a while. There's last time in a bank, right? You know who else is Jimmy? My father. Just hanging with my dad yesterday. He's still talking about this one trade that I did where we got annihilated in our first solar short. It was 14 years ago, Dad. 14 years ago. I got short first solar and we got annihilated, lit up for 30 grand. That was in 2011, Dad. I've had some winning trades since then. It's going to be all right. My father finally admitted, oh, maybe I should have sold that Oracle, like you said. Thank you. Thank you admitting that I know what I'm doing. Not every trade's going to work. But seriously, you're going to harp on a trade from 2011, 14 years ago. He's still pissed about something we did in 99. But that's not trading, my friends. Trading is moving on. Here's the next idea, if not the same idea that you blew before, and readdressing it like that Trump short. All right, so do me a favor right now. I'm going to shut this off. Email me right now. My name is Kenny Glick at AOL.com. And we got one more game, right? So I'm giving everybody Christmas presents, Hanukkah presents, Kwanzaa presents, Arbor Day presents, whatever you're into. These next couple of days are on me. We got today, we got tonight, we got tomorrow. Anybody live out in Long Island? I could bring you in as my guest. I got a very special party. You guys know I'm a TV actor also. I'm in a TV show. We're having our rap party out in Long Island. If anyone wants to join me, there might be some famous people there. You guys know I'm on a TV show. Wait till you see this show. It's going to be awesome. I was in my first show. I'm a gangster. They just wrapped, so they're having a Christmas party. If anybody's out in Long Island, I'll be on Jericho Turnpike. Call me. I need a date. My wife doesn't want to go. I need a date. But yeah, I don't know if I don't even know if I'm going to go, but I think I want to. Tuesday night. So email me. We'll hang. Right? I know AOL, baby. That's what it's a think piece at this point. And if Georgia wins, which they should, we get another week for free. Alabama loses, maybe I'll give you free stuff because anytime Alabama loses, that's always good. So right now, I've opened up my dungeon. I got a couple of 100 people hanging out in there now. They're learning from Solid, learn from us, and then hopefully, again, if you readdress the Trump trade like we should, today would have been a much better day. So we got Georgia, Ole Miss, right? JMU's bye-bye. Just anybody but Alabama, anybody but Ohio State. So this is going to be a big game. I think Alabama is going to beat Indiana because now Indiana actually has to face reality. You're going up against Alabama in a bowl game. We'll see who wins that game. I'm probably being taking Alabama, but I don't bet before the game starts. I bet live betting because it's the best way to bet. That's why it's the greatest invention ever. So if you are hanging with me right now, right? Kenny Glick, AOL.com. I'll send you a link. We'll hang out today, tomorrow, a couple hours on Wednesday. You guys, actually, I have an Ole Miss hat. My son liked the hat. He bought it a couple of years ago. He liked the colors. I have an Ole Miss hat in my house somewhere. No, I wouldn't wear it. Uh, yeah, my favorite holiday, Christmas Eve. You guys like the fish? My cousin makes about 250 shrimp. We always think that's a lot of shrimp. The next thing you know, there's no shrimp. We're gonna break our record this year. We're gonna make. We did 7 dozen last year, right? We're gonna do 10 dozen, 100 dozen. I don't know how many dozen. No, we're doing 200 shrimp this year. We got the crab legs. We got the shrimp. We do pasta with crab sauce. You do the 7 fishes. My favorite holiday of all time, right? Little fried flounder. Had the Alaskan crab legs last year. Ooh. Linguine and clam sauce. Sometimes we throw the oysters in there. I'm going to the fish concerts. Yeah, while we're doing it. Yeah, you guys going to fish next week? Bottom line, email me, call me, do whatever you need to do. Get involved with what we're doing these next couple of weeks. And today was more of a learning session of what not to do than what to do. But then again, if you took the second wave of these trades, you got paid. Yeah, fried shrimp. Yeah, fry them. Yeah, yeah. No gefilte. No. Gefilte. It's so gross. I'm the only one that eats the gefilte now. I love it because I was born into that shit, but it's kind of gross, especially covered in that gelatin ectoplasm. All right, I gotta go. So come and hang out. And if you can't put on a couple of losing trades every once in a while and survive, then uh, you're never gonna survive. You got to be able to survive moments like this, fight yourself through it, or sometimes you just, yeah, you know what? You walk away. You gave back some money. You did some dumb shit. At least it's not a disaster. All right. You know my email address, kennyglick@aol.com. Come and hang out. We'll all get to know each other. What else am I? Oh, we start with the shrimp, then we have the clam, linguine and clam sauce, and we have the crab sauce, Alaskan crabs, flounder. What else was part of that mix? I don't know, but my lasagna's already been made and frozen. Oh, yes, yes. I love me some I couldn't eat the horseradish when I was a kid. I love that stuff now. Yeah. It's kinda like wasabi, same kind of thing. Yeah. Homemade gefilte? Ooh. It's basically a codfish snowball, just compressed codfish. When you think of it like that, it's even more disgusting. Codfish snowball. All right, so email me. This guy's already in. All right. So everybody become a Georgia fan this weekend. Well, that's 2 weekends from now, right? Yeah, we got some time. New Year's night, New Year's Day, the evening of. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game to be watching. I'm gonna be half asleep. All right. Thank you for allowing me to have this conversation. But this is the kind of conversation you need to have at least once a month with yourself. Don't be upset about having one bad day. And again, it really wasn't that bad. I made it bad. All right. But learn from your mistakes and learn this trade, man. These VWAP trades are working like phenomenally. And then you got, then you're sitting in this. It's been 2 hours. There's nothing going on today. You know, you know, I know, I will give you a couple of heads up here. This Alcoa really is turned out to be a monster trade. I think the whole rest of that sector is going to keep going. The only one that hasn't come out of the doldrums yet is the Oxy. So we just faux showed on Oxy a couple of days ago. I'm waiting to see if this bros, and if it does, I'm looking for 10% rip to that 44. I got this one on the. I haven't looked at some of these trades in a while, but the Alcoa, I mean, just did that. So Alcoa, I don't know if you guys know about ATI, phenomenal. I like the stock Apache. BTU did all right for us. And if you guys are crushing this Trump stock while we've been sitting here, good for you. Good for you. I think Oxy's going to turn. Yeah. But yeah, that stock is very big disappointment, especially when Warren Buffett got everybody into the 60s like that, right? All right, we'll talk more later. I'll see you inside. KennyGlick, AOL.com. I'll send you a link.